guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's vlog, I will be doing a sketchbook tour, and I don't normally do disclaimers during my vlog because I say it all the time during my normal art sessions or when I feature my journey in art. But for today, just be aware that I do live near a major highway. I have dogs, and where I live there's a lot of wild birds, so just keep those in your mind, in the background, that those might be a little distractions while we talk about my sketchbook tour. Okay, so this is a rarity because I rarely do sketchbook tours, but today I'm doing a tour of my Arteza premium watercolor pad, and it's not completely finished. There's literally one sheet left for this sketchbook to be completely finished, but I have to say I have been surprisingly amazed at this little sketchbook, and for a lot of reasons. Because it is a watercolor sketchbook, I do use it for watercolor purposes, but I find myself using it more so when I'm trying out new techniques in watercolors or stuff like that, instead of just using the loose sheets that I have. I like to save those. But let's go through it. Let's start with the first page, okay? It's not exactly the first page of the sketchbook, but this is actually where the sketchbook actually came into play. I actually started this sketchbook on the 25th of May 2019. Here I was just doing some studies of the surroundings. Basically where I live, as you guys have seen in previous vlogs or videos, there's a lot of wildlife, and there's a lot of grass. It's basically a very foresty area, so I just try to capture the sky and the bushes and trees, and I was trying a little thing here. It doesn't look great at the moment. I mean, at the moment I did it, I was like, wow. But I know I could do better, and I know I can improve. I have these washi tapes here to kind of like guide me to what's next, to where I mark next. My next one is here, where I actually started to do a piece. Pineapple, strawberries, and a lemon, just to see how this paper holds up when you actually do artwork in it, because this one I did not use any kind of graphite foundation, and so with this one, this is where I actually drew in it with graphite pencil and then painted, and I wanted to see what that was like, and that was done on the 28th of May of last year. Here's one where I was trying to do a plein air study of a bridge in my country, and it didn't came out wonderful. I mean, it came out, but I didn't like the fact that I made so much mistakes in the drawing process. I think I redrew this. I think I did. But this one was done on the 31st of May of last year, 2019. This one doesn't have a date on it, but this one was done for a video. I think it was the Creole Proverbs video where we say planting not eat like rice, and it's just, I love how this paper handles watercolor, and as you can notice, the warping is very minimal, so that's pretty cool. Here's another one. This one here, this was just another I call them surrounding studies, where I just try to capture the essence of my surroundings, and this came out so much better. This was done on the 16th of August. It's just me looking at the surroundings and try to capture that without using any form of foundational graphite work on it. I just went in there with the paintbrush, and I think it came out so much better. I love how the lines are produced. This one here is another one, but in this one I try to use the white gel pen more successfully, and it's an improvement. I mean, if you're seeing sea, air, and sand, that's exactly what I wanted to accomplish. This one here is from a workshop that I did where I tried to do drawing from real life. We were permitted to use a graphite foundation for it, and to see how light, the manipulation of light, how it can capture a subject. And that's basically what the workshop was about. And I used this particular book because the workshop was, it also illustrates watercolor. So I used this particular book here because it's a watercolor sketchbook to use in this workshop, and this was one of the pieces in that workshop. Here is another piece from the workshop that I did, and again, this is a plein air practice piece, and it was just looking at the surroundings and try to capture that. I don't think I finished it though. I should have finished it here. You know, it was just so lovely, and I learned so much taking that workshop. I wish they had another one when this whole thing is over. This one here is where I was trying out the Marco Renoir watercolor pencils. See how it will handle a piece. It's how bright the colors are, if the colors do ghosting, or does the color show any kind of, the pencils have any kind of effect. And I think it just came out wonderfully. I love how this works, especially with my style. I think it's beautiful. This one here, I think I featured in a, where I was trying to draw an old tree that was behind my house. See there? Sorry. Behind the house. I just like it. This one is used with water soluble graphite, so it was able to come out so lovely. This one here is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you would have seen this one in a previous video. This one is where I tested out the Albert Durr watercolor pencils, and again, I think I'm in love using watercolor pencils. This one here is using the Derwent watercolor pencils. I think I've also featured it in a previous video, the dragon. I just love how the watercolor pencils move. As for this one here that you're seeing, it is from another session I did with you where I used it. I think this was the collab with Anna over at Anna Drawing Channel, where we challenged each other to use art supplies we rarely use, and this was using the Centrum crayon sticks. And I still haven't worked with these as yet, believe it or not. I promised myself to work with these more in the future, but I have not. Here's another session that I did with you guys using the pointer watercolor pens. I think it came out amazingly. My understanding of watercolor and the different types of watercolor mediums, I should call it, or the different types of watercolor mediums, because you have actual watercolor paints, you have their tubes, you have paint pans, you have watercolor liquid, you have watercolor paints, watercolor pencils. So the different types of watercolor, I think I'm understanding it more and learning how to work with it. You do see ghosting of the pen here in this area where I scratched, so that could be a little problematic, but again, it's just learning how to work with the different mediums. And the last piece I have here is something I did where I was using the Milan watercolor pencils. Just a little something where, you know, just to not testing them out, because I know how to work with these pencils obviously, but just, you know, trying to come up with something, because there was only 2 sheets left in this entire thing. See, the last sheet, it's empty. There's only 2 sheets left, and I wanted to use one. I think I'm saving this one for another session with you guys in my journey to art. And I think this is beautiful to show my progression. I mean, you have seen that my art has improved, because this actually spanned from 2019 May 25th to 2020 April 10th. So it is showing this beautiful progression in this journey in art, and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I think no better way to illustrate that art for me is a journey, and I am so grateful that I'm able to take people along with me, and we can learn together and grow together. So thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.